Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday. It is not our usual Tuesday lunch with Lori because the holiday set me back just a little bit because we were out of town. We had our middle son and his wife home for the weekend, and then we went to Illinois to visit with my family. So I'm a little behind. Thank you for your patience waiting for our class today. Today I'm going to show you some of the Changing Leaves some Changing Leaves cards, and the Changing Leaves bundle is an online exclusive, and I'll be showing you that in just a little bit because people miss those online exclusives. So I'm going to be showing you those, and I wanted to tell you a couple of things. The first is that today the September to December mini catalog goes live. So the reindeer and the trees and all the other items that you want for Christmas are live. So the only thing that I know of that is out already, and apparently it went out in about 20 minutes, were the peppermint candies, the little peppermint and embellishments. Those are expected back in a couple of weeks, so don't fret, those will be back. And then also I'm going to show you the items that my card club members will be getting this week with their card club membership. So if you're interested in card club, this is your chance to get beautiful fall cards. We make 8 cards. I'm going to show you a couple. I'm not sure that all 3 are the ones we're going to use, but we'll see. And then also there's 2 new kits available. There is a box, and I can't remember the name of either one because I just glanced at them, but there's a box that holds cards. It comes with several cards that you make, and then it's a box to store cards. So those would be a great thing to add to your stash. And then also there is a Christmas ornament kit that was released today. I ordered those this morning, so I'll be able to show you those at a later time. And then also, if you have not seen, there's a new scrapbooking brochure. There's Halloween designer series paper. So if you were lamenting that there was no Halloween designer series paper in the catalog, it is online. And I will include the link to look at that when I'm done with this video. I'll post the link to look at that. I'll post my card club link, and then you can have all of those things in one place. I'm going to flip my camera around, and then I will show you our cards for today. Put my glasses on to see the flipper. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. There was a notification on my phone and it did not go away. There we go. Whew, thank goodness. All right. So today I'm going to show you. I also need to get my. There we go. The Changing Leaves bundle, and this is, like I said, it's a beautiful bundle. It is. Oh goodness. There's a stamp set with leaves and words, and then the embossing folder is a hybrid, and so you can die cut and emboss all at the same time. These particular dies are just die cutting, but the embossing folder, you see these 3 leaves, they will cut and emboss all at the same time. So you have to put this, fit it onto the piece that's a little bit raised, and that's on the side. No, I've got it backward. No, here we go. Just move it over. There's a little lip, and you can feel it. Actually, maybe it's on this side. I'm telling lies already this morning. No, that's right. Goodness gracious. All right, so the leaves, the dies fit around the edges of the leaves, and then you would put your paper, I don't have a blank one, put your paper in, and then you would fold it, you would run it through, and it embosses and it die cuts all at the same time. So it's pretty awesome. I'm going to show you both ways to use it in just a little bit. And I'm going to start with the simple version, and then I'm going to work my way up to the more fancy style. But I'm going to show you, let me put this away so I don't lose pieces, because you all know what happens. All right, my card club members are going to get a sampling of the Oxidized Copper Specialty Designer Series paper, and it has a pretty peacock version and then just copper, and both of these they're very pretty. I'm gonna get part of a package of those. Oops. And then also a partial package of textured metallic specialty paper, and there's gold, copper, and then this beautiful grayish blue color that's called tungsten. So you'll get an assortment of those. We're going to make all the metal shinies for our cards. So last week I dropped a roll of linen thread and it rolled across the floor. Today it's a stamp. So, but I got it. All right, so we're going to start with a simple note card today, and I've told you in the past many times that I struggle with classy, so we're going to make a classy type card. The glare here is a little bit bothersome. There we go. All right. So I have embossed my panel already, and it is ready to go. It's just, I ran it through the embossing folder, and the texture on this is so pretty, and it feels really good. I don't know how to describe that. So we have our note card. Go ahead, fold my note card, and then I've got a black panel, just a basic black panel, and I'm gonna put down my embossed piece right on that, and that's gonna be our white panel. Super simple. I didn't die cut this one, I just embossed it. All right, and I can go ahead and put that down on the front of my card because that is all we're gonna do with that panel. Okay, so that piece is ready. And then this is one of the circle dies that's in the set, and I'm going to stamp thank you on there. Just a quick thank you note. Put that right in the center of the circle, but of course I have to move it closer so I can actually see it. There we go. All right, now I have die cut some leaves and some little stems, and I've used basic black, and I cut some with the tungsten, and you can see I thought about navy, and it was not the right color. I think the black with the kind of silvery color is a little better. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to figure out where I want to put these, and I have no set plan. I'm just gonna put the leaves behind and kind of poke those in. I have several extra just in case because I wasn't sure what I'd want to do. This one is a little big. It's kind of long. I have single black ones, and then the double. Maybe I want a little more shine on this one. And then maybe a sparkly one. Maybe I'll bling it. What do you think? If you're watching and you have an opinion on how many of these to use, let me know. Let me know what you think. I think that's too many. That is too many. So let's back it down. Let's see. I think that one's too big. Like I said, there's no right or wrong. I just can't decide what I want to do. We're going to go with the single black leaf because I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive right across there just so it'll hold. I'm having trouble with my decision making today. Let's snip these two apart, and then we have two. Because I like that shimmer. go ahead and use the black one on the bottom, like that. Now that I've got it set, then I'm going to take a piece of tape. It's not going to show. Put that right on the back. And then use dimensionals to hold it up, because those are a little bit thick. And then they'll go on our embossed piece nicely. And that's all there is to that one. It's a pretty simple, like I said, everything's die cut already. And then one of the other items that my card club, if you're a card club member, close your eyes or pretend like you don't see. We're gonna use the Pecan Pie and Clear ribbon adhesive back dots, and they're so pretty in person. Grab my take your pick tool and add those. These are a little bit hard to maneuver. I was having trouble with them earlier. They were escaping me. It's hard to get back in the swing of things when you're off for a couple of days, when you're enjoying yourself and you're out. If you were one of the people who shopped my buy one get one sale, and you shopped, those totals should be coming to you later today. All right, just a little bit of bling and some shine, and that one is done. That was the other item on my agenda for today. So if you were one of those people, you should receive your totals after lunch today. Okay. So many things I have left. Unfortunately, shopping time has closed. So keep an eye out for that. I will probably reopen that at some point in the future just to get rid of some more stuff. All right, this one I'm going to use Pretty Peacock because it matches the Pretty Peacock oxidized copper, but I also use the copper and metallic, the textured metallic sheet, and I ran that through the embossing folder. Hopefully you can see that, but I wanted to point out one thing. If you run a regular piece of paper, if you run white through there, then that's great. You can flip it over, you can see both sides, but just make sure when you put your, if you use the metallic, it needs to go facing the Stampin' Up! Logo. It needs to be facing that way. Otherwise, your paper will be debossed instead of embossed. So regular paper doesn't matter the direction, but the metallic paper needs to go down so that it faces the Stampin' Up! Logo on your embossing folder. So it's just a little tip. I didn't learn it the hard way this time, but I did want to make sure to point that out. Okay, so I'm going to fold my card base. And I've die cut all these pieces, so it's really just assembly. So you didn't have to watch all of that because we're at lunch, right? We only have so many minutes for your lunch break. I'm just going to put that on. There's no right or wrong direction because leaves fall in all kinds of ways. So just the peacock and the copper is so pretty together. Okay, I have die cut a circle from the Spotlight on Nature dies, and I didn't get out all my little pieces. I'm gonna do that really quick. And this is just gonna serve as the base so that we can glue all the other pieces on there. All right. It's gonna go down with dimensional, so I'm gonna just go ahead and do that and get it on there. And that way we can just build from there. If you've seen the mini catalog, what's your favorite thing? Have you already placed an order today? What is your favorite thing that's on your wish list? If you have the catalog and you already made your list, what are you wanting to order today? My favorite thing I think was the decorative trees, the decorative Christmas trees, and the decorative dies that match that. And then I also like the reindeer. I think the reindeer are cute. All right, so I've got my circle, and then I'm gonna put my leaf on, and it's tone on tone, but there's a difference. There's the texture, and then there's the solid white. So that's just gonna go on next. Small dimensionals for this one. Sometimes tone on tone is very pretty. Actually, I think the big dimensionals work on these leaves. Thought I needed big ones, or little ones. Yesterday felt a little bit fallish here in St. Louis. Today it's a little warmer. And of course tomorrow, when my son has football in the evening, it's gonna be hot. So the leaves, I was looking forward to having some fall thoughts. All right, so I've got the first leaf on, and then I have die cut some leaves that I'm just going to layer on top. Now, if you were going to attach these directly to your to a white piece of paper, if you were going to attach it like that, you probably would want some adhesive sheet. But I'm going to put it behind something, so it's not necessary to cover it so much. But I'm going to put, actually, let's go ahead and just attach these to the back of this leaf that we're going to attach it to. And we're going to just kind of poke it out. It's just going to be sticking out right up at the top. They're just layered together. And again, I'm going to use tape. You can use regular adhesive. You could use liquid glue, might be a little hard, but I'm just going to use that piece of tape to hold those in place. And then I'm going to dimensional that as well. I'm just going to do that right at the bottom of this leaf, maybe one at the top. So that way it sticks up a little bit, but not on the whole thing. All right. This paper is beautiful. It's very shiny, and so put that down. Okay, then I need to stamp my words, and for this one, I'm going to use, I forgot to take off the top of the dimensional here, or the top dimensional. There we go. So that way it stays put. All right, I need to stamp my words. I'm going to use Pretty Peacock, and this one's going to say, I couldn't have done it without you. We probably all have a friend that we could send that to. And this is again the circle that's in the die cuts that match the bundle. There we go. And I had extras just in case, because you never know what might happen. And this one I'm going to tuck in here. I'm just going to tuck it maybe right about there. Again, no right or wrong. It's going to overlap the bottom circle and then go on to this one. So I probably could even just do dimensionals on this lower right side, with a little bit of adhesive on the other side to hold it onto that Spotlight on Nature circle. Where I'm going to wedge it in there. There you go. And then the other final piece of our package this month is the cream woven ribbon, and it feels so soft. It's very soft. It ties great bows. And a little bit of off-white with the white paper actually looks okay, because it kind of ties that copper in. It makes it all a little less stark. This card I got the idea from my friend Sue Phillip in Canada. So Sue, if you're watching, thank you. Might be a little bit different, but I did take the idea from her. And if I can tie a bow that easily, you know that it is good stuff. Okay, then we're going to attach our bow with a glue gun. We're going to put that right on where those leaves join. Ta-da. Alright, so I started with a simple note card. This one's a little more involved, and then the last one I'm going to show you is another step. So let's get going. This one, I did go ahead and die cut some things, but I want to show you how I did it. This one I used white paper, and I'm using my blending brushes, and I'm going to brush color directly onto the white piece of paper. Then I'm going to die cut and emboss all at the same time to make that leaf. And I cut my paper big enough so that it would do all of the leaves, so that all the 2 extra ones I could use on other projects later. So I didn't have to do this again. Okay. So I'm just gonna start. I have wild wheat, I have crushed curry, cherry cobbler, and copper clay. I wanna make sure I use the copper clay because that is the color of my card base. So I'll just take my crushed curry, and I have my blending brush. I always shake my table when I do this. I'm gonna try not to do that. When you use a blending brush, you should usually start off the side and just work your way on to, I apologize that my table is a little bit shaky. Just work your way across. The bolder the color, the better off you are for this. Mine were probably a little less bold than I would have liked, but that's okay, because the die cut leaves are going to, it's gonna blend on there, so you should be fine. You could also do this with the little die cuts that look like this. Those will be very pretty with a different color behind them, or a different color of the leaves. All right, so there's my crushed curry. I think I'm just gonna go with the copper clay and the crushed curry, and then maybe add in a little cherry cobbler. And there's no right or wrong. Everything's, all the leaves look different. God made each one differently when they came down, so you can kind of blend those circle marks. I'm going to do this kind of in a hurry here. Just in from the edge. I do tap it just so I don't get a big piece that looks like that. It's not going to cover the whole piece. Okay, and then if you decide you want some more yellow, you can come back in with some yellow. Oh, that's not dark enough. And then you would just put, actually, I'm going to leave off the cherry cobbler just because I'm happy with how it looks. You can add as many colors or as few colors as you wish. So then at this point, we will put this in our piece. I'm actually going to scoot it over so I could cut some more if I wanted to. And then put your die on. Hold that on there. And then close it. And then you would run that through your stamp and cut embossing machine. And then you will come out, I'm not going to do that while you wait. You will come out with a leaf that looks somewhat similar to this, with multicolors. And that was the magic of Facebook Lives. It was all ready. And then we can put it together. So we have not all of our leaves here. So this one's going to be a little different. Okay. So I'm going to stamp with copper clay. This one says a little note to brighten your day. Again, this is one of the die cuts that matches the bundle. got a little note to brighten your day. Put the ink away. Okay. Now, let's assemble. I'm using a crumb cake base. Crumb cake is kind of a fallish color for me. I'm not sure why, but it feels fall. Okay, then I did not cut any copper clay caves. I used those on my other card. Actually, let me check really quick. Oh, I do have some. I was more prepared than I thought. So typically, when I die cut things that I'm gonna be using, I try to use the panel. This one, I used this, the black die cuts that I did for the leaves earlier. I actually had a whole bunch of black scraps that I used, but I try to die cut right in the middle of whatever panel. So then when I put on the front panel, you can't see it anymore. And no one is the wiser, and you didn't have to get into a whole new piece of paper to die cut that. So it's a paper saver. Okay, so this panel will go down, go flat with the adhesive. Again, direction doesn't matter. I'm going to go this way with this one because it's different. Okay, then we're going to build. We're going to start with this leaf. And then I'm gonna go ahead and dimensional that just because that's a little bit bumpy, and and the leaves that I die cut are a little bit bumpy too. So that way they stick, and we don't have to worry about that. I did notice when I did my card, my sample card, that when I put my sentiment piece on, it was a little bit bulky, and I think part of that was because the ribbon, I didn't tie a bow, but I just wrapped it like a fake bow. So I'm going to do it a little bit differently this time to see if we can make sure that that stays flat, because I had to use an extra dimensional, and this piece right here is a little bit lumpy. So I don't want that to be the case. Right, put that down, and then again, we're just going to start building, but I'm going to use my sentiment piece. And I'm going to build it on the back of that. And you can put it however you want. I'm just going to kind of lay it on here, see where I want things. I think I'll put these on first. And then I'm going to mix in a gold leaf or two. Let's see. And maybe one of the little... I have them all die cut here. I've got a whole pile that I'm digging from. What do you think? Is that reasonable? I think that's pretty good. All right, so now I'm going to try to be tricky and see if this works. I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of this and then sit this down and pick those up. So now they're on there, but just to make sure, I'm going to use my tape. You'll need a smaller, more narrow piece of tape for this piece, since that piece is so small. Okay, and then let's go ahead and get that dimensional on there. And I think I'm going to use the bigger ones just for... I think that's pretty good. You could always add more, change them around if you haven't got them all the way glued. But I think I'm happy with it. The one thing I did was I put the ribbon behind it. So when I did the first one, I just wrapped my little fake bow, have my little middle, and cut it. That was pretty thick to go behind this and have to attach it. So I think I'm not going to overlap them. I think I'm just going to squiggle it and see if that works, because then I don't have any more than one layer. Sometimes these things are just a learning curve. Things we learned. So that way they're not thick in the back, or as thick in the back. We'll try it. The worst thing that happens is I still have a lump. Okay, so it's a little thinner than my other one. I'm going to go ahead and put another dimensional right next to it. We're going to hope for the best. And then you can put that wherever you'd like. Just like that. And then for this one, we're going to use the other gems. We're going to use the Pecan Pie, which you can't really tell is pecan pie. It blends nicely and it gives some shine. But when I put it on here, kind of has the brown tone of the crumb cake, and it has the little bit of the copper clay. And then when I put it just down directly on the copper clay, it almost has a gold type tint to it. So those take on kind of whatever color, and I'm chasing this one around. I don't know if you can see that. This one does not want to be picked up. Well, just enough shine to make it pretty. So there we have card number 3. So I'm not sure if I will use all of these cards for my card club, but I know you will see at least 2 of them. So, and you will receive a package of the pecan pie gems, a roll of the cream ribbon, partial packs of the metallic, textured metallic, and the oxidized copper paper. And you will make 8 beautiful fall cards. Let me get these for you. See all of them. This one's not necessarily fall. This one can be used anytime. This thank you. Because, you know, classy is not always my thing. All right, so there's our 3 cards for our class today. Again, like I said, card club signups are due by September 10th. So by next Tuesday, those are due. And then if you have not seen the new mini catalog, most of my customers receive these in the mail already. If you do not have one, please let me know. I'll get one to you. And there's some great stuff in here. You can see some of the autumn bundles, the Christmas bundles, the cute little Santa star. There's so many good things in this catalog. You can make bows. I am not a good bow maker. I have boys, they don't care. And we travel a lot with our packages, so we don't always put bows on our packages. But if I did, I think the handmade ones would be perfect. So anyway, just a few things that are in the new catalog. I look forward to stamping with you again next Tuesday, September 10th, and that will be our regular time at 11:30 on Tuesday. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.